Bladesmiths, welcome to the forge. Gentlemen, there's a cloth on top of your anvil. Go ahead and lift that up. That is 5 inches of 1-inch round stock 10 series steel from which you must make a signature blade in your signature style, between 8 and 10 inches in length, and it must have a recurved edge. However, I'm not sure if that bar of round stock is enough steel to make that 8 to 10 inch blade, so I'd like you to use a San Mai technique by harvesting mild steel from, look behind you, gentlemen, your forge. That's right, you'll cannibalize your forges in order to make that San Mai blade. Don't worry, we'll replace the forge before you get started. Your 3-hour forge time starts now.
There you go. Look at this guy.
Yeah, oh man, I just hate to see really useful tools be torn apart.
I'm gonna go after the front section of the forge and then the lid of the forge because they're close in width to what I think I can work that round bar down to.
I'm trying to find the pieces that would be the most easy to take off, and I see the 3 supports on the bottom, so I just hit all 3 of those. Then I'm thinking I may not have enough steel, so I start looking at other pieces, and they're just double welded. It's taking too long, so I decide to just stick with the 3 pieces that I have.
Ian multitasking, doing another pass back there on Big Blue.
Using my method for San Mai doesn't leave a lot of room for error because the blade's already at the dimension you want it to be, and so if you have to move metal, there's not really a whole lot to move.
I start to forge that profile in and really refine it, and then I move on to the recurve.
I'm not happy with how it's turning out. We're getting a little bow. It kind of looks like a banana. I noticed that I've got the wrong dies.
Matt, I'm switching out the dies on that if you're okay with that.
Yeah, go for it.
And then the drawing out process actually starts to go quite smooth.
That's using your head. Use the right dies. I've got an ugly billet. I'm starting to do some mild shaping, but I think we'll be all right.
Coming up to the forge, well, there's going to be a lot of pressure on me to get it right because there's a lot of prep work that I've done getting to that point.
Here we're gonna see if Ian sets this weld right.
It's a long weld. Yeah. Bladesmiths, you have less than 60 minutes remaining to finish your blades. Matt just quenched.
Before I quenched, everything was straight, and when I take it out, I see that my blade has developed a pretty severe warp. I decide my best option is to try to re-quench.
John just quenched.
Well, it's hard, but it's warped as hell. Gonna do it again.
And Phil just quenched that very, very hot blade.
Immediately, I start feeling some tings in my handle.
I'm seeing some head shaking here.
Let it go, man. That's enough.
All right, there's still a warp, but it is not as bad as the first warp, and I believe I'm out of the woods, and I fixed this problem.
John over here, back in the quench.
The same warp happens, but not quite as bad. I'm confident that I can fix it with a MAP gas torch later.
I have about 35 minutes left. I need to get the blade into the oils soon, so I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I blow the smoke off, and it's as straight as an arrow.
Yes, I did it. Hell yeah, look at Ian's blade. Do you see that clip on the front edge?
Yeah, it's really a nice shape.
That's a hot looking shape.
So I got a few minutes left. I'm gonna touch up the profile.
Ian's really, really examining his steel over here. I wonder if there's an issue.
I look down, and there's a split running all the way up the center cord. My heart just sinks.
Ian is seeing incomplete welds. He's seeing delaminations right now.
If this blade were tested right now, it could split completely open. I'm grinding away as much metal as I can and changing the profile of the blade, hoping that I can get the seam to disappear.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bladesmith, shut down your machines, drop your tools. This first round of competition is over.
Knowing that the blade has a crack running along the spine, that blade could run into issues during testing. I'm really nervous, but my fate's in the hand of the judges, and I'm hoping for the best.
All right, bladesmiths, in this first round of competition, you were to have made a signature blade between 8 and 10 inches that had a recurve and Sanmai construction. Now it's time for the judges to take a closer look at your work. Phil, you're up first. Please present your blade to the judges.
I like the shape, but you have a warp in it. And you don't have a lot of material here to remove. And so I would be very careful with how you deal with any warping and things like that. And the biggest concern I have is this kind of surface crazing here. It doesn't look like it crosses the edge, which is a good thing. All in all, it's in pretty good shape. Good job.
All right, Matt, you're up. Please present your blade to the judges.
Matt, I really like the way it flows. The profile of your blade is curvaceous and sexy with a recurve there. What I like about etching this is that you can tell that the high carbon is going to be the dark steel and the mild is the light. And especially when you're looking at the edge, you want to make sure it's a dark steel all the way through. Good job on that. The one thing, though, it's got a very pronounced curve. I like the curves going this way, but not when they're going this way.
Me neither.
If you move forward, it has to be addressed.
Thank you.
All right, John, please present your blade to the judges.
John, you've really nailed it. This is a beautiful shape. It's really nice and straight. It's got a good weight to it. I mean, it's really well set up for putting a handle on and testing. I can see the two different steels. I can see the darkness of the high carbon steel and the lightness of the mild steel on the edge. It's a beautiful weld. Very well done.
Thanks, sir.
Ian, you're up next. Please present your blade to the judges.
Pretty profile, just very subtle. That crack running all the way down the spine, I can get a nail in it. You can see the hardened steel, and you can see where that crack just moves right through the center of it. I'm not quite sure what's going on with a fracture down the spine of this blade.
All right, bladesmiths, the judges have poured over the details of your work in our deliberation. They've made a final decision. The bladesmith leaving the forge is Ian, your blade did not make the cut.
Well, Ian, it was a pleasure to watch you work. I really like where you're going with that design. But unfortunately, that crack along the spine that goes all the way through the tip is just too severe. And it's for that reason we're sending you home.
Ian, please surrender your blade.
It's a fair assessment of the blade, and I think the judges made a good decision.